are.
We are, and we are
Association, or the Association of the Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN. It is a geopolitical and economic organization established to accelerate economic growth, social progress, and cultural development among its 10 member states. So what are the 10 member states of the ASEAN? So before that, it also aims, or ASEAN also aims to promote peace and stability in the region, active collaboration, and mutual assistance in matters of common interest. Southeast Asian studies and maintain close and beneficial cooperation with other regional and international organizations. So, ASEAN, as what you heard earlier, it is an organization in Asia wherein it promotes peace, harmony, and promotes progress when it comes to economic and infrastructure of each state or member state of that organization. Did you know that ASEAN was established on August 8, 1967 in Bangkok, Thailand, with the signing of the Asian Declaration by the founding members of ASEAN? So who are, or what countries are the founding members of ASEAN? So they are namely Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, of course, Singapore, and Thailand. Brunei Darussalam then joined in 1984, Vietnam in 1995, Laos PDR and Myanmar in 1997, and Cambodia in 1998, making up the current 10 member states of ASEAN. So it was then that the pioneering members is also what we have right now, Philippines. So it was back then that Philippines was a founding member of the ASEAN organization. It was around August 8, 1967, along with any other member states including Thailand and Indonesia. Okay, so by virtue of that document, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, was born. The 5 foreign ministers signed it: Adam Malik of Indonesia, Narciso R. Ramos of the Philippines, Tun Abdul Rahak of Malaysia, Razak of Malaysia, S. Raharatnam of Singapore, and Thanat Koman of Thailand would subsequently be hailed as the founding fathers of probably the most successful intergovernmental organization in the world, or the developing world today. That was what we call ASEAN. And that document that they signed would be known as the ASEAN Declaration. Okay, so as you can hear, the founding fathers of ASEAN includes Narciso R. Ramos, which is back then was the president of the Philippines, and as well as we Filipinos, or the Philippines in particular, is a founding member of ASEAN. So it is right, an Asian countries in one, stronger, powerful, and aims to develop more of the world in this developing world today, especially when it comes to technology. So it was a short, simply worded document containing just 5 articles back then. So it declared the establishment of an association for regional cooperation among the countries of the Southeast Asia, to be known as, again, the Association of the Southeast Asian Nation, or ASEAN, and spelled out the aims and the purposes of that association or the particular organization. So these aims and the purposes were about cooperation in the economic, social, cultural, technical, and educational and other fields, and in the promotion of the regional peace and stability through abiding respect for justice and the rule of law, and adherence to the principles of the United Nations Charter. It stipulated that the association would be open for participation by all states in the Southeast Asian region subscribing to its aims, principles, and purposes. It proclaimed ASEAN as representing the collective will of the nations of Southeast Asia to bind themselves together in friendship and cooperation, and through joint efforts and sacrifices secure for their peoples and for posterity the blessings of peace, freedom, and prosperity. So that is what ASEAN is all about. That is the aim of ASEAN, to bring peace, social growth, economical growth, alright? So here, we are going to talk about Philippines. Philippines, an island country of Southeast Asia in the Western Pacific Ocean. It is an archipelago consisting of more than 700 islands and islets lying about 500 miles or 800 kilometers off the coast of Vietnam. While here, Manila is the capital, but nearby Quezon City is the country's most populous city. So Manila is our capital place or city here in Philippines. So now we'll be talking about currency. The Philippine peso or the Philippine peso. The currency of the Philippines, officially known as Republic of the Philippines, is called the Philippine peso. Its ISO 4217 code is PHP, and it has PHP or peso sign as symbol, as you can see on the screen. Since we are talking about Philippine currency, how much is the conversion of our peso in United States or the dollar thing? So Philippine peso equals to 0.17 thousands in United States dollar. So it's like 0.017, and so that is the value of our Philippine peso in other countries, specifically in United States of America, where the conversion is like dollar. So right now, as our economic structure or economic status is depreciating since the COVID-19, our peso as well has the lowest streak of conversion in these US dollars. So
Some people are still confused about the official language of the Philippines. The Philippines is an archipelago country with thousands of islands, and by that, people living in the different places and islands speaks differently that considered as their native language. But what is the official language of the Philippines? The official language of the Philippines is Filipino. And by that, people from different places and islands connects and understand by speaking in Filipino language despite having 186 numbers of ethnic languages according to the ethnologue.
In this part, we have to enumerate ethnic languages in the Philippines. In the Philippines, we've rounded up a list of languages that Filipinos speak. Naay 8 major ethnic languages sa Pilipinas ug mauni ang una, Tagalog, ikaduha, Ilocano, ikatulo, Pangasinan or Pangasinense, ikaupat, Pampango or Kapampangan, ikalima, Bicol or Bicolano, ikaunom, Cebuano, ikapito, Hiligaynon, ug ang ikawalo mao ang Waray Samarnon. Moving on, languages of instruction used in the Philippines. So, for purposes of communication and instruction, the official languages of the Philippines are Filipino, and until otherwise provided by law, English. Percentage of ethnic groups in the Philippines. So, ang Tagalog, 24.4%, Bisaya or Binisaya, 11.4%, Cebuano, 9.9%, Ilocano, 8.8%, Hiligaynon or Ilonggo, 8.4%, Bicol or Bicol, 6.8%, Waray, 4%, and other local ethnicity is 26.1%. So, moving on sa population sa Philippines. As of Wednesday, September 21, 2022, based on Worldometer elaborations of the latest United Nations data, the current populations of the Philippines is 112,811,381. Moving on sa type of government in the Philippines or unsa nga klase sa gobyerno na ang Pilipinas. So the country is a democracy. The Philippines is a republic with a presidential form of government wherein power is equally divided among its three branches. Executive carries out laws, muna sila ang president, vice president, cabinet o mga federal agencies. Legislative make laws, muna silang mga Congress o House of Representatives and Senate. Ang ikatulo, muna siya ang judicial, evaluate laws, muna siya ang Supreme Court in other courts. So much for that. Anhita sa name of the agency who took care of their education in the Philippines. So, the Department of Education or DepEd is the government agency responsible for the management and governance of the Philippines basic education system. Moving on, anita sa number of primary schools, private and public in the Philippines. So, primary school as of year 2016-2017. So, in public, nadira 3,149. Sa private, 464. So much for that. Anita sa number of educational higher institutions, state colleges or universities in the Philippines. Philippines has a total of 1,949 higher education institutions. As of 2020, student enrollment was 1.83 million for private and 1.57 million for public institutions.
Now, are you wondering how much is the annual education budget in the Philippines? Well, for the year 2022, we have 600.33 billion, and the prospect annual budget for the year 2023 is 710.6 billion. So it is clear enough that the government of the Philippines is not deaf. They hear our whines, they hear our problems, and they hear what we lack of funding. as it is apparent that there is an increase for the year 2023, hopefully. Now, from the national budget of the Philippines, how much is allocated for the education? What percentage does educational needs of students occupy? Now, as I have said, for the year 2022, the Department of Education received 631.77 billion, or around 12.58 of the total national budget of 5.2 trillion. Of the year 2019, based on a report by United Nations, the Philippines has the highest literacy rate at 97.95% among Southeast Asian countries such as Singapore, Brunei, and Indonesia. The literacy rate is 98.9% among females and 97% among males aged 15 to 24. Now, to expound this idea, let's talk about the record of the overall literacy rate of adults for the last 30 years. So it is indicated here the year and its literacy rate.
In the year 1980, the literacy rate among adult Filipinos, regardless of gender, is 83.32%, clearly the lowest for the past 30 years. 1980 is 93.6%, 1994 is 92.6%, 2000 92.59%, 2003 95.4%, 2008 is 95.4%, 2013 is 96.4%, in 2015 is 98.2%, in 2019 it's 96.3%, and in 2022 it's 96.29%.
So this is the percentage of the population age 15 and above who can understand or who can read with understanding, read and write a short, simple statement on their everyday life. Generally, literacy also encompasses numeracy. Now, who do you think are more intelligent? Filipinos or Filipinas? Now let's find out. So flashed upon the screen is the Philippines' overall literacy rate for the last 30 years, male adults. Now, how about the Philippines' overall literacy rate for the last 30 years, female adults? To summarize, 1980 and below, or in the earlier times, Philippines has low literacy rate just by the 83 and 84% in the table. It is also apparent that in earlier times, as you can see in the year 1980 again, Filipinos put more emphasis on education to male adults as to the traditional mindset that females must only stay at home, do all the chores, and remain ignorant. But as years passed, females started becoming empowered and they acquired a sense of mindset that they need to get a job. Most of Asian countries have 6+3+3 basic education system. And some also have 6+4+2. So what is the Philippines structure? Well, former President Benigno Aquino III implemented the K-12 basic education cycle to increase the number of years of compulsory education to 13 years. Under his government, we adopted the K-642 basic education system. So by law, education is compulsory for 13 years, which is kindergarten and grades 1 to 12. And it's grouped into 3 levels: kindergarten, elementary school, grades 1 to 6, junior high school, grades 7 to 10, and senior high school, grades 11 to 12. Now, how long is the academic calendar in the Philippines? Well, as schools in the Philippines undergo through a transition phase from online class to face-to-face because of the pandemic, this is the new normal of the beginning and the ending of class. Well, for the DepEd, for the elementary, preschool, and junior high school and senior high school, well, the class start is normally at August 2022 and the class end is July 2023 for this school year. According to DepEd Order number 34 series of 2022 sets the start of classes on August 22 and will end on July 7, 2023. There will be 203 school days, or as may be determined by further issuances in case of charges in the school calendar due to unforeseen circumstances. For the college education, well, the class start, I remember it was September 2022 and the class end is July 2023. In any case, the total number of days on which regular school sessions are held shall not be less than 200 per calendar year or 100 each semester.
Teacher to student ratio. For school year 2017 to 2018, the teacher-student ratio is 1:31 for the elementary level, 1:36 for junior high school level, and 1:31 for senior high school level. One teacher for 30 plus students. It is depressing to see as a future educators, salaries are low and efforts are high. Future plans for their education. The tutor earlier said she would prioritize giving students quality education and improving the living condition of the teachers. Outgoing DepEd Secretary Leonor Biones earlier said she and her team are eager to assist her successor in ensuring a smooth transition of priority education programs. The policies, including the Basic Education Development Plan 2030, the top 10 universities. First is University of the Philippines, Diliman, which is located in Quezon City. Second is Ateneo de Manila University in Quezon City. Third is De La Salle University in Taft Avenue, Manila. Fourth is University of the Philippines in Manila City. Fifth is University of Santo Tomas in Sampaloc, Manila. Sixth is Salaman University in Dumaguete City. Next is University of the Philippines, Manila, located in Ermita, Manila. 8 is Polytechnic University of the Philippines in Santa Mesa, Manila. Next is University of San Carlos, which is Cebu City. And the last is Mapua University in Intramuros, Manila.